The WebEx 2025 conference is currently taking place. Jack McDonald should be invited to speak on stage about Ripple, RLUSD, and the potential of the XRP ledger in the future. In addition to that, we are going to discuss this piece in which the Prime Minister of Japan describes XRP as a crypto chance that only comes along once in a century. Is he serious when he says that? I'm going to share with you what he had to say. After that, we were granted a license to operate as a predominant payment institution in Singapore. On a global scale, Ripple is making significant progress. Within the scope of this video, we are going to discuss all of this as well as a great deal more. In the United States of America, there is legislation that prohibits the disclosure of information by the United States government to CBDC. Therefore, it is necessary for you to examine the expansion of CBDCs in a very particular jurisdiction, either from the standpoint of the sovereign or the sovereign's perspective. Nevertheless, here at Ripple, we are concentrating on our stablecoin. We have, in a sense, placed our wager there, and that would be relevant to the game that we are trying to play. Stablecoins are obviously the way of the future. There, we have placed a wager, and I would say that our plays are currently in progress. At the very last second, what do you say to that person? We've already placed our wager there. And if that happens, Ripple will be able to experiment with the idea of being a monopoly. There are some people who are upset about things like Microsoft and Apple, as well as other companies and individuals who have an excessive amount of power. To put it simply, I want Ripple to have complete control because if they do, the price of XRP is going to be ridiculously high. On top of that, I don't really have to be concerned about some of these other things that are happening in my life. I could just go and say, hey, but all of these heroes on my bank account, we're chilling. I could say that out loud. All right, let's go back to this prime minister. Japan's prime minister describes the chance presented by XRP cryptocurrency as a once in a lifetime. We are going to proceed with the fact check. To my mind, that was a little bit suspicious. For the 26th of August, there is no evidence that can be considered reliable to confirm that Japan's prime minister publicly referred to XRP cryptocurrency as a once-in-a-century opportunity or made words that are consistent with this viral claim. There have been no reports from major financial and Japanese news sites regarding such an endorsement, and there have been no formal remarks from the government that support this assumption. XRP and the Japanese government, despite the fact that Japan has been aggressive in the regulation and adoption of cryptocurrencies with banks and other financial institutions participating in blockchain trials, there is no confirmed record of the Prime Minister particularly mentioning XRP in these terms in recent times. As a result, that is not correct. An important payment institution license has been awarded to 2C2P, a user of Ripple payments, by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. This is not an easy thing to state in a short amount of time. The meaning of all of this is unclear. So we got 2C2P's approval as a major payment innovation by the Monetary Authority of Singapore is especially important for Ripple and XRP because it aligns with Ripple's ongoing strategy to build regulated payment corridors, drive digital asset adoption, and unleash enterprise-grade blockchain use in Asia-Pacific, where Singapore serves as a regulatory benchmark and gateway for crypto innovation. The following are some of the advantages. 2C2P's License F. ROM, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, which is similar to Ripple's own MPI license, is an indication of robust regulatory vetting and conformity with Singapore's Payment Services Act. A quickening of the pace of cryptocurrency-enabled payments, a license that allows for 2C2P connections. Could we please just call it something that is easier to understand? The primary value proposition of Ripple's financial markets is to connect to other regulated infrastructure, which will help scale the use of XRP for the purpose of rapidly and inexpensively transferring money across borders and facilitating liquidity. There is some extra information on the strategic impact in the APAC region that can be found in this section. A gateway to Southeast Asian countries, etc. Asia's financial technology and cryptocurrency industries are centered in Singapore. Ripple's ecosystem may now be used by additional business flows thanks to the licensing of 2C2P, which will lead to an increase in volume and a more widespread adoption of the use of regulated digital assets. The legitimacy and influence of Ripple is something that I don't think I need to read to you because you already have a good understanding of it. The phrase benchmark for licensing globally is also included. The strategy taken by the Monetary Authority of Singapore serves as a model for other jurisdictions that have licensed partners such as 2C2P, which establishes the benchmark for Ripple partnerships on a worldwide scale. So, that's pretty awesome, man. All right, please see below some more information that has been provided by High Vibe Assets. Ripple, American Express, Visa, and Standard Chartered are listed as the largest financial organizations that are still utilizing Ripple and XRP technology at the present time. They just put all of these different photographs here of these various banks and FedNow, as well as all of these juicy facts here, American Express. What a surprise. And then, I just wanted to check and see if there is any further information that I could have overlooked here. According to financial institutions such as Santander, American Express, and Standard Chartered, have joined RippleNet, which is Ripple's enterprise blockchain network, in order to enhance the speed, transparency, and cost efficiency of international money transfers and business payments. RippleNet uses XRP as a bridge asset, which enables real-time settlement between different currencies and markets. Not only does this eliminate the need for pre-funded accounts, but it also reduces the risks associated with counterparties. It has been speculated that FedNow and the United States Instant Payment Service may begin incorporating elements of Ripple's technology in the month of April 2024. Speculation regarding the role that RippleNet plays in the payment infrastructure of the United States was fueled by the confirmation of a transaction in which the Federal Reserve now processes an XRP payment from a cryptocurrency wallet to a regular U.S. bank. What is the significance of this? Authentication from the institution. The endorsement of Ripple at XRP by prominent global institutions and the Federal Reserve of the United States is a signal of long-term trust and opens the door to the possibility of widespread adoption or mainstream usage. It also discusses the possibility of faster and cheaper payments, liquidity, and utility for XRP. Through the utilization of XRP as a bridge asset, its liquidity and transactional volume are increased, which in turn supports its price and long-term utility as a worldwide settlement token as well. Let's speak about blockchain technology and trade finance and how the CBDC Standard Chartered is utilizing Ripple's network for supply chain and trade finance. Also, the CEO believes that Ripple and XRP will play a significant role in bridging CBDCs, reinforcing XRP's important role in the future architecture of the financial technology industry. Extremely, extremely cool to behold. Now, of course, we are familiar with this picture and we are aware of the significance of this. In this location, some of the largest the points, the dollar of Australia, the Australian dollar Novati, was the US dollar, and of course, JPP and JPH were also involved. The Lulu exchange appears to be in Japan. This is Brazil. Are you saying that this is what it says, Brazil? I suppose so. AED and INR are also available through India and the United Arab Emirates. I don't know, it's a little unusual there. They also offer the Japanese yen and the Philippines Filipino peso. All right, gentlemen, I'll just provide you with some further background for this moment, and then I'll let you go for the day. The market capitalization of Ripple XRP is subject to fluctuations, with values ranging from $28 billion to $176 billion as of August 2025. Ripple's XRP market was estimated to be $126 billion by the end of 2024, reaching $582 billion, according to Forbes, which routinely places XRP as one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies in the world. By the year 2035, perhaps by the year 2035, the market capitalization of XRP will have reached $6.5 trillion. Exactly 10 years from today, that is. There is a possibility that we will be hired, but who knows? I believe that we will get hired. It is anticipated that the Ripple segment, which consists primarily of storage wallets, would create $867 million in 2024 and will reach $1.76 billion by the year 2030. As a result of Ripple's institutional reach, the company now has over 300 active financial institutions and relationships that include banks, fintech companies, payment providers, and exchanges. When compared to legacy systems, which cover 90% of the global financial exchange industry, Ripple's cross-border payment solutions provide instant settlement, cost savings, and transparency. Therefore, this is the foreign exchange market. Ripple does in fact control 90% of the keys to the globe at the moment. As a result, you begin to question for example, is that final 10% as significant as the first 90%, which is most likely comprised of the most significant economies and currencies in the world. What I mean is that once Ripple has authority over that, which they already do, it's kind of, putting in place the necessary infrastructure is something that takes more than a decade, right? As soon as you have finished constructing everything, they will arrive. You are now beginning to see businesses, institutions, banks, financial market infrastructures, central banks, and all of these other actors beginning to recognize that Ripple is a serious participant and that they are here to stay. This is a significant development. The acceptance and utility of XRP are discussed in this article. As of the month of March in the year 2025, there are 5.3 million active XRP wallets with 130,000